Jonathan, let me start by asking you a question. What are some of the ways, if a consumer wants to use a constructor to do some construction for his or her residence or whatever, well, what should they be looking for? What kind of advice can you give them?
Well, I think one of the first things for them to do is to make sure that the contractor is licensed.
Okay.
And they can find that out by going to the website for the State Licensing Board, which is www.cslb.ca.gov. The information that they'll, when they get to the first part of the web page, it will give them a couple of options, and one of them will be consumers, is the part that they check. Then they can search for a licensee, somebody who's licensed by the state, under either the business name, the personnel name, or the contractor's license number.
Okay.
State licensing law requires that contractors display their licensing number on their stationery and on their business cards. So the consumer has the option of going in a couple of different ways to find out, to make sure the person's licensed. When they put that information in, they will then see a list of names which will include some variations on that particular name, and then they can go to the page which is actually the page that identifies the contractor. It will identify what kind of license they have, whether it's a specialty license or a general license, also whether or not they have any employees. The contractor's license bond will be identified, and also if any disciplinary complaints had been made against the contractor. If their workers' compensation insurance had lapsed, that would be reflected at that web page. Then there's also, they can click on some further information to find out who the principals are at that contracting entity. So the first thing is to make sure that the contractor is licensed.
In other words, do your homework.
Yes, you want to make sure the guy is licensed, otherwise there can be some substantial problems.
And let me repeat the site again for those of you who may or may not have heard it. It's www.cslb, California State Licensing Board, .ca.california.gov, G-O-V, government. Again, www.cslb.ca.gov. Taking Jonathan's advice to check in whatever contractor you're going to be working with is a very good idea.